total lack of reverence now. I'm talking of rebellion or lack of understanding. For a believer to say that marriage is not an important institution in the church, that marriage is consummated in the Father's house. When a believer rises up and says that the church has no part to play in marriage, the church only just has a ceremonial something. So the ceremony of the church, you can even skip it. It borders on irreverence. It borders on rebellion to say a thing like that. To say that marriage is consummated and is completed and sealed in our Father's house is a rejection of the understanding of marriage. Because our marriage was not instituted by our Father's house. Our fathers came to meet marriage. So when Christ was going to point the people back on the subject of marriage, he did not say, go and ask your fathers, even though he could have said so, because even their fathers had the under from God. As I don't think we'll get into that in this class. But the Jews, even their own fathers, had the understanding of marriage from God. But Christ did not even say, go and, in the days of your fathers, it was not so. Christ pointed them back to the beginning. So the subject of marriage, you don't go and ask anybody. You don't go and ask. The reason for that is because that the very subject of marriage itself, the very concept of marriage itself, has nothing to do with man. Let's say, it's not all about man, yes. The purpose of marriage is not all about man. The purpose of marriage really is all about God. And we are saying that who really wants to marry is God. It's not man. And we said that that's the reason why in the kingdom, Christ told us that when we are resurrected, there's no marriage there. Why is there no marriage? An educational platform. That's what we are going to be looking more into more today. And we said that the whole purpose behind creation, behind salvation and everything is marriage. And that's why marriage is the most important subject in the church. Because everything we are here for is marriage. So, and we said religion, brethren, that's where they got it wrong. The Muslims, the Hindus, the Buddhists, and all those things. That's where they got it, so that you will become kind. Originated it. When God was going to marry, he was not distinguishing between good and bad. He said he called both the good and the bad to come into the wedding supper. So then, the purpose really was, so we have said that marriage is not, can we hear me very well? Okay. We have said that marriage is not about us. It's not about man. It's not about woman. And so, the idea that men have had about marriage is, especially believers. Remember, anytime I'm talking, even though I don't mention it, just remember that focus is always believers. My reference is always believers. So, especially amongst believers, the believing men, this one are the men, they believe that marriage is for their purpose. So the woman must obey, the woman must submit, the woman must hear what I want to say, the woman must do what I want to do. If the woman is not doing as she's supposed to do, they go. And we said that the reason that attitude is there sometimes is because that we the men sometimes we feel that marriage is all about us. It's now we, so you supposed to do well by me, do that, I mean, and things like that. But we are saying that marriage is not about the man, marriage is not about the woman, marriage is about God and his church. Praise God. And we also said, okay, I don't know if we said it, but I think I said it when we were answering the questions. But then this was around where we left off. So we said that the purpose really behind marriage then, as we have it now together, is to learn how to marry God. For us to learn how to be joined with God. And so, having this understanding, the question now becomes, so where is the school to learn it? To learn marriage? As we saw in our text this morning, there was no counseling class that God gave to Adam before he brought Eve, before he brought the woman to him. There was no man, a wife for you. And we found out that in fact, there was a question that I think Sister Mina asked on Friday why I made a statement. So I want to answer it now. So, in fact, in a search for a wife, for man. God first of all brought animals, cattle, goat, monkey, bird, pepper, and all those things to man to see what the man will do. Whether he will choose any of those ones. But the Bible said that it was not God that said, there's no one good among this one for you. It was the man that looked at all these ones and said, no, none of these ones are suitable helps for me. So where did the man go to the school to learn that? And this was why I made the statement I made on Friday. That if a man marries a bad wife, it is his fault. It is not the woman's fault. Because that you were the one that chose. So we are seeing now that God brought all these things to man. Man did not choose any of these ones. So then, this your wife that you want to kill, that she is too rebellious in the house. Why did you choose her? And then you want to now put the blame on God. So I said that the problem really is that man no longer knows how to choose wife. So it's not bad women that are troubling men. It's men that no longer know how to choose wife. That's why we have bad wives in our homes. That's why I said that we that are inside already before the understanding came, God have mercy upon us. So, man, don't always blame your wife. Blame yourself first. Before you start saying, this woman, she's too stubborn. And now start looking for how to drive her away. First of all, blame yourself. Kai, I make mistake. Oh, chai. Now me do myself this thing. Why I do myself this thing now? So when the woman is beating you, Kai, oh, why I do myself this thing now? I not try. Before you start labeling her, so label yourself first bad man before you label her bad woman. We understand? So that's why I made that statement on Friday. So we saw that God brought all these animals to man and said, choose. And the man said, okay. He looked at them, said, no, this one is not suitable. He looked at them and said, no, this one is not suitable. He looked at them and said, no, this one is not suitable. He looked at them and said, no, this one is not suitable. Then he looked at all and said, none of these ones are suitable for me. God did not tell Adam that, don't worry, if you don't find something here, then there is another option. God did not tell Adam that. God finished all his creations and brought them to Adam. Adam looked at all the options and said, there is no one suitable for me. So then, if that ended there, Adam would prefer to be alone than to settle for anything. So, but today we have people that are settling. And well, not be say she complete her, but I go do now. You better make person. Instead make it not be like say instead make her just carry him now enter house. Don't we hear women that do that a lot? Normally, if to say I see another option, I for take, but as no that one they come, I don't the old they go now. Make we just manage the one when we see. Then men. I don't try. Don't see this one. As we not on the see now, make you just manage the one when we see. The one when they. Then you manage and enter inside the home. While I will come, you now start blaming God. Or you now start blaming the woman. Meanwhile, now you choose them. So we see that in the true understanding of marriage, when you understand marriage, if a suitable help is not found, stay alone. In the true understanding of marriage, if a suitable help is not found, stay alone. Rather than settle. Rather than make we manage. No, they're not the manage marriage. So why God is not going to manage anybody, believer. Say, Kai, he try now only say you know believe my message like that. But in case of every other thing he pass, they're not the manage. So in the true understanding of marriage, when you remember, that's why I said I started the way I started. Okay, I'm busy today. I want to talk about that. What we are talking of is the standard. That's why I talk about the two generations. So we now begin to find out that we that are inside, Was this how we chose? Was this the understanding that we used? We don't know all these ones now. I know that I get it. So I'm talking of the standard, how God set it to be. Praise God. So in the original standard and concept behind marriage, you don't settle if you don't find suitability. I will change him as we go ahead. They don't marry with I will change him as we go ahead. So Adam did not say, okay, well, at least the chimpanzee is still close. Adam did not even choose the serpent. As close to man as the serpent was. The Bible said the serpent can talk. So if man was just looking for who he can gist with, he could have chosen the serpent. If man was just looking for who he can communicate with, he would have chosen the serpent. If man was looking for someone that is intelligent, he would have chosen the serpent. So you are going to find out that this thing that we call specs, today now, that is as a result of the fall now, so it's completely totally different from what God calls spec. Because if you wanted to look at spec, the serpent met all the specs that man could have met, that man could have needed. Talk of intelligent, talk of beautiful, talk about eloquence, someone shall be fluency in speech, talk about wiseness and all those things. So Adam could have said, let me manage, since God has all the things you made finish, say yes. So okay, oh yeah, now let's manage this one. We will correct, we will change him as we go. Remember, this state where Adam was making this choice now, so Adam was in the perfect stature and nature of God. He was in the image after the likeness of God. Praise God. So God in these scriptures was demonstrating the choosing of a bride. That's the one book that we read. The choosing of a bride. How to choose bride. And like we have said, all of this demonstration is only because God is trying to tell us how he is going to choose bride. Okay? Second thing that we notice here is, so I was asking before, so where did man get this knowledge from? Where did man go to the school to go and learn about marriage, to know what a suitable help for him will be, or the kind of thing that is good for a wife, the kind of creature or the kind of creation that will be okay to carry and bring into his house? What was the school that he went to learn this thing? And we'll find out that there was no school. Maybe we read the whole place just now. There was no school. So in Genesis chapter 1 verse 26 and 27, God had made the spirit